Have you ever pondered the fate of our solar system, and what would happen if the sun swallowed all the planets and the moon? This thought might seem far-fetched, but in the grand scheme of the cosmos, it's not an impossibility. Our sun, like all stars, is on a life cycle, and we're merely inhabitants in its planetary system. As we delve into this cosmic conundrum, remember, we're not just talking science fiction. In today's journey, we will explore this cataclysmic event and the aftermath of such a cosmic catastrophe. Our sun, the fiery ball of gas at the center of our solar system, is not eternal. Just like every being in this universe, our sun also has a life cycle. Born roughly 4.5 billion years ago from a nebula, a cloud of dust and gas in space, our sun is currently in its main sequence stage, the prime of its life. Here it's fueled by an internal nuclear fusion process where hydrogen combines to form helium, releasing enormous amounts of energy as heat and light. This phase is the longest and accounts for about 90% of a star's life. In the future, billions of years from now, our sun will exhaust its hydrogen fuel. When this happens, it will start to contract. The contraction will increase the sun's core temperature, causing the outer layers to expand. The sun will then enter the subgiant phase, becoming larger and cooler. But the sun's transformation doesn't stop there. As the core continues to contract, the outer layers will continue to expand. Eventually, the sun will have transformed into a red giant, a star that has exhausted the supply of hydrogen in its core and is now fusing helium into heavier elements. The sun as a red giant will be a sight to behold. It will become so large that it could extend out to the current orbits of Mercury, Venus, and maybe even Earth. Imagine the sun, a red swollen giant filling our sky, its outer layers nearly touching the blue sphere we call home. But the sun's life doesn't end as a red giant. It will shed its outer layers, leaving behind a hot, dense core, a white dwarf. This white dwarf will slowly cool and fade over billions of years, marking the end of our sun's life cycle. As the sun ages, it will expand into a red giant, potentially engulfing the inner planets and the moon. Imagine the sun expanding, its fiery reach extending towards the inner planets. As the sun swells into a red giant, Mercury, the closest planet, would be the first to face the fiery wrath. Its already thin atmosphere would be stripped away, its scorched surface becoming a sea of molten rock. Next in line, Venus, our sister planet, would meet a similar fate. With a heavy atmosphere mainly composed of carbon dioxide, the intense heat would cause a runaway greenhouse effect. The planet's surface would melt, transforming it into a fiery hellscape. Then comes our home, Earth. As the sun's heat intensifies, our oceans would evaporate, our atmosphere would dissipate, and all life as we know it would cease to exist. The surface would become a barren, desolate landscape, devoid of the thriving ecosystem that once was. As the sun continues its expansion, Mars, with its thin atmosphere and cold temperatures, would be engulfed in heat. The red planet would become a molten world, its famous ice caps melting away in the face of the sun's relentless heat. The fate of the gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, would be slightly different. These planets, composed mainly of hydrogen and helium, would see their outer layers heated and expanded, transforming them into hot Jupiters. Their moons, including our beloved Titan and Europa, would be heated to the point of melting, their icy surfaces turning into oceans of liquid water. Lastly, our moon, Earth's loyal companion, would be scorched and stripped of its surface features. Its craters and mountains would melt away, leaving behind a smooth, molten surface. In this scenario, our solar system would be a vastly different place, unrecognizable from the one we know today. No more blue marbles, no more red deserts, no more icy moons. Only a fiery sun, expanding and devouring everything in its path. In the grand cosmic ballet, this is one potential final act. After the sun has had its fill, what would be left of our solar system? A question posed by many. The answer is both hopeful and profoundly humbling. Our sun, this massive star at the center of our solar system, will undergo a transformation. Having consumed its hydrogen fuel, it will swell into a red giant, engulfing the inner planets. But this is not the end of its story. The sun will then shrink, shedding its outer layers and leaving behind a dense core. This core, a white dwarf, is the final evolutionary stage for stars like our sun, marking the end of its active life. As the sun sheds its outer layers, it will release a cloud of dust and gas into space. This cloud, called a planetary nebula, will be illuminated by the white dwarf at its center, creating a vibrant spectacle of cosmic colors and shapes. From afar, it might seem like a beautiful, serene farewell to the star that once was. But let's not forget that the universe is a place of constant change and rebirth. The dust and gas expelled by the sun could potentially serve as the building blocks for new celestial bodies. Imagine a new generation of planets, birthed from the remnants of our old system. These potential new worlds, bathed in the faint light of a white dwarf, might bear little resemblance to the planets we know today, yet they could be the cradle for new life, new stories, and new cosmic journeys. These potential outcomes remind us of the cyclical nature of the universe. Stars are born, they live, and they die, only to give rise to new stars, new planets, and perhaps, new life. The aftermath of our sun's death, while it may seem catastrophic, could be the beginning of an entirely new chapter in the cosmic story. Though this event is a destructive one, it could potentially give birth to a new generation of planets. So even in its death, our sun might continue to foster life and complexity, a testament to the enduring wonder of the cosmos. Our journey through this cataclysmic event reveals the impermanence of our solar system. This exploration began with understanding the sun's life cycle. A burning sphere of gas, the sun is in a constant state of flux, altering its size and heat over billions of years. As it exhausts its hydrogen fuel, it will expand into a red giant, engulfing the inner planets, including Earth, and even the Moon. This devouring of celestial bodies paints a stark picture of our solar system's fate. Each planet, from the rocky terrains of Mars to the gas giants like Jupiter, all will be swallowed in the sun's fiery embrace. Our moon, Earth's faithful companion, will also meet the same fiery end. The aftermath, however, is not simply destruction. The sun's death throes will eject a nebula, a cosmic nursery for new stars and perhaps even new planets. Out of the ashes of the old, the new is born. These insights give us a profound understanding of our universe. They underscore the transient nature of celestial bodies, even those as seemingly eternal as stars and planets. They remind us that change is the only constant in this vast cosmos. In the grand scale of the cosmos, even stars and planets are transient, reminding us of the ever-changing nature of the universe.